I maybe had 5 years on the job, and we had an impaired driver up in Acton, and it was a collision. So the impaired driver collides into another vehicle. So then we manage an accident scene, right? 2 of us go to it. One officer takes the person into custody, and then I'm left with the accident scene, which involves, managing the scene. So I have my lights flashing, might have had a flare up. You've arranged for tow trucks are coming to remove the vehicles, taking the accident report. So I was on the scene by myself, on my own, and the driver of the other vehicle that was hit, not the drunk driver, the other driver, was in my cruiser, and I was filling out the accident report. And then he had said to me that I have the keys to the vehicle. And I said, okay, because the tow was there ready to tow his vehicle involved in the crash. And I remember we talked, and he said, okay, I'm going to take the key to the tow operator. I said, okay. So he went over to the tow operator. Ordinarily, I would have done that. I was like, okay, I'll do it. Stay here. I'll go and, drop it off at the tow guy. But this young man did it. And when I was in my cruiser, I heard a big thump, screeching tires, saw a car swerving towards me, veering, going eastbound. And this young man, plus the tow operator, had been hit by a second drunk driver. It was horrendous, right? So then I had to deal with the scene. I don't know how many feet he was flown, but then he died. He died there. And his wife was also right on scene, his father-in-law. So it was a really, really tough call. So sad for the end. I had a lot of guilt thinking that should have been me. It shouldn't have been this young man. I should have been the guy that was killed.
So, I mean, when I hear a story like that, I think about your own mental health and the situation. Yeah. Is it possible for you to ask for assistance? Because obviously there's trauma, not to you as well.
It
right?
is. And ultimately, I have to say, my police service I worked for, we were exceptional. We were very, very good with that stuff. Then there was a time, probably in earlier years, where you just suck it up. You go to the next call.
Right.
But I had a lot of support. And we had an employee assistance program. I did see someone for once, but it wasn't for me. And so many of us in the police profession do go through challenging things like I just described. Some of them worse, some of them not quite as bad, but affects them in so many different ways. So I had something called critical incident stress. For me, it might have been PSD, but that's what they called it at that point. And I had great support. We got through it, right? And good family support.
You go back to work the next day on this?
No, at the start. Well, no, there's a lot of blood on my uniform at the time, and so I had to take the day off. Not from that, but just I needed some time.
Yeah.
And but I didn't. I'm one of those guys that went through almost my entire career with barely missing a day off until the end. But came back at the next block, though, right? So we were 4 days, 4 on and 4 off. And on my days off, my sergeant on his day off came up and saw me. And we didn't live close at all. Like, he lived in Milton, I lived in Fergus, and came, and that was just amazing, right? And then, like I said, other officers, so many reached out. And when I went back to work, my one coworker had my uniform all laundered, because, like I said, there was some blood on it and stuff. And we got through it.
How do you know you're ready to go back to work, though, in that kind of situation, other than having a clean uniform?
Well, I think I had to go back to work, right? And
you got to get back on the horse.
Yeah. Interesting. Something.
Part of the job.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you had to get back. Yeah, of course. That's what I was paid for. And like I said, when I say it, I probably took one day off, and then it ran into my regular days off, and then came back the next block and had some support. But I had something even earlier happen when I was on the housing authority, where I got jumped by 3 guys. And I just beat pretty good. I gave back as good as I got. But I made a point of going back to work the next day. And just not go to
show them that
not to go into all the details.
You didn't defeat me?
Yeah, 2 of us went to hospital. So not just me, I went to hospital, and so did somebody else. But I made sure I went back the next day. And I think you just had to do it. And you can't let these things get to you. You still have a role to play.
You must, talk about having a bad day at work. You must... Do you take that home occasionally, on occasion? You say you have a wonderful wife, etc. But, how do you leave that at work?
Well, I have a very good relationship with my special Laura. and she knows when I need my space, right? Or I need to go somewhere or do something. And
She can sense that you had a stressful day. You don't need to tell her all the details, or
no. I mean, no. I mean, sometimes I would, or just like go into the.
Just so she kind of knows what.
Yes.
In broad.
Yeah, of course. And then she'll give me my space, or I do what I need to do. I've always been active. My weight always hasn't been. My weight's been up and down, but I've always been active. So exercise, of course, was a big part. Or
so
whether it's sports, golf.
You ate your stress, did you?
Sometimes I did. Yeah. Sometimes I did. My weight fluctuated over the years.
We're having pizza tonight, Laura, kind of thing. Or...
Of course. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go. Let's do that. Of course. Yeah. For sure.
Well, that's what's interesting about talking to you too. It's like, police officers have a life. They're real people.